Okay, I'm really excited. Homeschool success story. Well, kind of, sort of. Homeschool steps along the road to success story today. All right, so ninth grader is working on Algebra 1, linear equations. Let me preface this by explaining that algebra and we're really not on speaking terms. I did well in school. I was a comfortable student academically until they put letters with numbers, and then it was all over for me. So, algebra, not my thing. I have struggled through it with my 3 older homeschooled kids, and basically by struggled through it, I mean that for the most part I farmed them out to other homeschool moms who were good at letters and numbers all in the same equation. And I would swap, like I would grade their kids' writing or teach them Latin or do drama with them or something like that. So for this kid number 4, last in a long line, this one gets math. He just gets it. He thinks it's logical. Very strange to me. Very strange. But he thinks that math makes sense. And he typically kind of teaches himself his math. So I haven't had to do a whole lot of teaching Algebra 1 this year because it's been making sense to him, and he works through his book and he has a grand old time until linear equations this week. Well, we sat down to do linear equations the first week of the new year, and I thought, oh, isn't this nice? We're bonding. No, I thought I'd rather be at the dentist having my teeth drilled. If you know how I feel about dentists, you know that's really saying something. I digress. So, linear equations, we're trying to make sense of them, and my approach is follow the steps. I don't understand it. I have no idea what numbers, letters, graph paper, and a pencil have to do with each other. I don't see the connection. But if it says do this step, then do this step, then do this step, I do the steps. That's how I survived algebra. I think that should be good enough for anyone. Oh no, not my 9th grader. He thinks that it should make sense, that it should somehow conceptually fit for him. How on earth was I going to make linear equations conceptually palatable to my 9th grader when I don't understand them? So you know what I did? Okay, this is a really great math secret. You're going to love this. I prayed. I did. I said, God, I have absolutely no idea what the connection is between the letters and numbers in this equation and the line that we're going to draw on the graph paper. I don't understand it. I just follow the steps. But you understand it. There are other people who have told me that this does actually have a connection. So if you created these things to be related, I need you to show me how I can explain this to my 9th grader. Then I got this great idea. Ba-ding! Well, then the Holy Spirit answered my prayer by putting the idea in there that I needed. Do you know that you can think of linear equations getting from the, set y equals mx plus b thing on your notebook paper and transferring that into a coordinate plane with dots drawn on it and little lines connecting, points drawn on with a line connecting them. The connection there is, it's just 2 different ways of looking at the same thing. Okay, don't laugh at me. If math makes sense to you, then just turn off the video and go plot some points on a graph somewhere. But if math does not make sense to you, you will share my joy. It's like having a recipe for chocolate chip cookies. And all the ingredients are listed, and all the steps are listed. Now, some recipes list all the ingredients separately, and then they list all the steps. Other recipes, instead, go chronologically, and so they just interweave the ingredients with the steps as you go along. Well, you can think of that as the 2 different ways of writing an equation, either in standard form or in slope-intercept form. 2 different kinds of recipes, but for the same chocolate chip cookies. Second, you take the ingredients, you follow the steps, and you mix the dough in a bowl. Now you can actually see and smell and taste, if you're not afraid of salmonella from the raw eggs, the dough in the bowl. That's like putting the points on the graph paper and drawing the line through them. It's the recipe, in one form or another, followed by the dough in a bowl. I don't know what happens when we put our linear equation in the oven. I don't even want to think about it. I am just so excited that it made sense to Mom. It made sense to conceptual 9th grade math student. and the crying and moaning and wailing over linear equations ceased in our house yesterday. That's my success story. What are you working on?